The audacity. The audacity. Let me start this video by defining the word audacity so you fully get where I'm coming from. The word has different meanings, but in the context of what I'm trying to do with this video, it means the willingness to take bold risks. My goal to run the marathons I've decided to run is exactly that, audacious. When I released that video announcing that, it's been met with a mixture of reactions. And so in this video, I want to respond to that reaction. I announced that I'm doing Osaka Marathon, Boston, and London. And people responded basically in three ways. There are roughly about 250 plus comments. Those obviously include some of my replies, so you can take those out. But there are essentially four things I want to respond to. Number one, I would say 90% of the messages are people wishing me well, people saying they are proud of my goal, they're proud of the opportunities coming my way. That's great. The second are people concerned that actually running marathons that close together could be dangerous, Aubrey. I mean, we're proud of you, but please be careful, bro. And I'm not mad at that neither. The third is a man who expressed that he is upset at the fact that he's been trying to get into Boston, or that plenty, so he might be symbolic of other runners who've been trying to qualify. And despite their hard work, they don't make it to these events, and therefore feels upset that someone like me, a content creator, a YouTuber, an average runner, someone that couldn't run anywhere near that qualifying time, he's getting opportunities to go to these places. And fourth, there is a man named Andy the Ford Runner. He's put on a lengthy comment on that video. Now, for context, I love Ford Runner. You're going to watch in many videos I've done in the past of YouTubers that I respect and love, Ford Runner is going to be there. So in this video, I'm going to respond to all four of those. And I'm going to start with the first one. The 90% of you that are supporting me on this chapter. Now look, in 2023, I published a video announcing my 2024 goals. And the goal for 2024 was to run half marathons. Long story short, I finished 2024 having run 2 world majors. And I'm so proud of myself because not too long ago, I couldn't run a 5K without having to stop. In 2025, I set myself a goal without announcing to anyone because I didn't do an objectives thing. I didn't do a goals video, that I would try to run the 7 world majors. That's my goal. It won't necessarily happen in 2025, but that is my goal. That's what I want to do. Now, listen, if I review a running shoe and I give you technically incorrect information, or if I'm giving you running advice, since I'm not a qualified running coach and I give you wrong information, I invite you to challenge me. Or if I review a running shoe and my experience in that shoe differs to yours, I invite the interaction that invites you to give your perspective. I enjoy such interactions. What I feel is incorrect is you telling me that my goal is wrong. Now, this comment here, somebody said, my goal of wanting to run the majors is silly, unsustainable, and it's not something an average runner should be doing. Bro, how do you get the boldness of telling another man that his goals are wrong? Now I get it. I'm on YouTube. I'm public. I put myself to you guys. And therefore, Free game, right? Wrong. Go ahead and express your opinions. Allow me to have my own views. And my goal is I would like to run the 7 world majors. Now that's important. That point is very important. If you ask me what I'm training for, I'm trying to make my body a body that is capable of running the 7 world majors. Remember that point because I will come back to it in a little bit. So in 2024, when I ran my 2 marathons, I ran those 2 marathons powered by the negativity and some people's expectations of me. I was being undermined, and some people expected I wouldn't finish my marathon time in such an hour. Berlin. I used that to fuel me because I wanted to prove people wrong. In 2025, we're going to flip that on its head. I want to prove the 90% right. The 90% of you that say, Aubrey, come on, man, you've got this. We've been watching your journey. We love the progression. We love the opportunities you've been getting. You're going to smash this. It's with 90% people I don't want to let down. And you are the reason we're going to knock it out. That's the 90%. The man that said he's upset at the fact that he couldn't get into Boston. And then here comes the YouTubers, the celebrity runners. Why are they being invited by the brands? Sir, I'm not mad at you. You won't get any opposition here. You won't get any hatred over here. I want to tell you I understand. I've been in a position where I was working so hard and I didn't get the acknowledgement or the expectation or the goal that I wanted to achieve whilst I watched other people doing that. It hurts. It does. And you won't get any opposition from me. I fully empathize with you. But I hope that then tells you exactly why I am grateful to be invited. I hope that tells you why I clap for people that are doing well. Until it's my turn, I'm going to keep. If that person goes over there, I'll give you an example. On YouTube, I put a lot of effort in my videos. And recently, you will be hard pressed finding a video on my channel that exceeds 5,000 views, 10,000 views. But I work so hard in giving you the very best that I've got. Then I go over to that person's channel, right? They don't even look like they've tried. 50,000 views, right? I can't be mad at them for that. How come they get 10,000? I can't be. Because I know how hard it is to do what they're doing. I'm going to clap for those people, man. And that's what I literally do. I celebrate people. I invite people to start their YouTube channels. If I can support you, I will. Because I know what it's like to work so hard and not get what you want. So you, sir, I'm not mad at you. I just ask that you understand. Because I understand how hard you work, because I understand how hard it is to get into Boston, that only does one thing to me. It gives me a certain level of gratitude that I get on the camera like this and I tell people, look at what's happening. I truly am sorry for how you feel, but I can't apologize for the opportunities that come my way. There are people that watch my channel inspired by what I'm doing. So I know that there are people that share your view. They will unsubscribe from my channel. That's okay. I also know there are people counting on me to inspire them. I also know that there are some average runners that will never qualify for Boston, that are happy to see someone that runs like them, someone that looks like them, to be in this space. So yes, I feel for you, but I can't apologize for what's coming my way. Injuries. Somebody commented, several people, Aubrey, bro, we're proud of you, but come on. I get it. But I know people that have done tougher things. Tougher things. I also know you're right. I could get injured, but I could also finish these two marathons. So I get it. Honestly, I get it. I know what it's like running a half marathon. I know what it's like when I ran Berlin. I know what it was like when I ran New York. But I want to tell you, man, I also know what it's like to have the audacity to try something you've never done before and actually achieve it. You see, I'm not looking at what if I fail? What if I get injured? My focus, my sole focus right now, two things. What if I can do it? Second, who else is going to come along this journey with me? That's it. So, what am I doing to minimize that injury? I've got a training plan. I've got a group of 3, 4 guys that run with me. This Sunday, 27K long run. I started it at 5 a.m. doing a long run. I'm in the gym doing all sorts. I want to assure you, when Boston Marathon comes, you're going to see the best version of me that you've ever seen. Here is the icing on the cake. If I can turn myself into the type of person that can achieve this, job done. If I can turn myself into the person that can run Osaka Marathon, Boston Marathon really well, job done. If I can run Osaka, Boston, and London and get it done, turn myself into that person. From the person I used to need to stop every 5 minutes. The person that dreamt of one day running a 10K. The person that said, oh, maybe one day I'll do a half marathon. I remember when I ran with Ben Felton. And at the end of the race vlog for the London 10K, he said, Aubrey, if you want, we can even try and pace you to your first half marathon. Look at this now. Look, I'm not going to be mad at myself, man. I'm going to give it everything I've got. Lastly, Andy's comment. Now, Andy's comment itself, I think was wrong. Before I say this bit, I want to tell you, in every list of my favorite YouTubers, Ford Runner will be there. When you're UK based, you learn about several YouTube channels, and his is one of the most respected amongst runners. And so when he commented, obviously he had my attention. So I read every single word. I read it, processed it, and I said, I'll respond to you in a bit. His comment has loads of likes. You can go to it, loads of likes. And he has it in 3 sections. The first one, actually, no, let me start with the bit that I agreed with. And I've already touched on it. He said, Aubrey, I'm happy for you that these opportunities are coming your way. And I genuinely believe he means that. I do. I genuinely think he means that. But I'm worried about your health. That part is what made me respect his comment. That part. He is a dad, he's a family man, and therefore similar to me. And I respected and appreciated his comment. The other bit, he then says, when it's me, the brands I like to work with are the ones that say, what are you training for and how can we support you? And not the brands that just go, hey, do you want to come along? I'm paraphrasing, so I might get a few things wrong here and there. I started this video by telling you what I'm training for. I'm training to run the 7 world majors. That is my goal. So if a brand then says, we love working with you, Aubrey, we would love to join us at such an event. And if that invitation allows me to achieve my goal, how are we different? How are we different? This is specifically my goal. So when Mizuno says, come run Osaka with us, I'll be honest with you, running is a very small part of that decision. I'm going to a continent I've never seen in my life. I'm meeting people. I wish you knew how many people are in conversations with me simply because of what I do here. Some of those I've met in real life. If Adidas says, Aubrey, come to our event in Germany. If Believe in the Run say we're putting together a team and Aubrey's going to be there, and it helps me achieve my goal, isn't that what you just articulated? The problem that I disagree with is this mentality of Aubrey's just jumping out. Whatever brand says, Aubrey's going to go. Aubrey's just going to do it. Please trust that I have thought out very carefully what the roadmap looks like to my goals. All of them. And trust that. The second point, the third point he made, because of this average runner tag that you've put on yourself, I would love to see you support local events, grassroots kind of events. That's what I'd like to see you be part of in 2025. On my wall here, as you can hear, are my medals. Before I recorded this video, I counted them. There are 28 medals on my wall. I haven't been running a long time. I've got 28 medals on my wall. 3 of those medals, 3 are from outside of this country. Berlin, New York, Amsterdam. The rest of the medals are from this country. Some of them in my town. I always run Rage. I couldn't run it last time because I was looking after my 2 children. I always run Gatwick. I know the race director by his name, Mr. Kelly. Run Through UK know me by name. How local do you want me to be? What's worse is this comment. Take a second. Let me blow up the text. This comment. Because I'm an average runner, I need to stay at the local events and be at the park runs where the rest of us average runners are. I don't know how local I need to be. Just imagine being confined to someone else's expectation. So my goal doesn't count. I've got 28 medals from events that have happened local to me. 3 are international. Surely you have to give. The last race I ran was literally 50 minutes away from my house. And I ran it. I ran it with somebody who watches my channel. I don't know how local you would like me to be for you to be convinced that I'm being this average runner that I say I am. But you see, the goal is not to just stay here. The goal is to show everyone that follows that there are possibilities way beyond the horizon. If only you just believe and give it a push. Lastly, anybody that has a view and they sincerely want to share it with me for my well-being, for counsel, constructive feedback, before you put it in a comment to the video, please know that you've got access to me on my Instagram. Aubrey.running. Message. Send me something. There is not a single person I've ever ignored. And that goes to you, Andy, too. Brother, I talk to you on Instagram. If ever you have a concern, message me. I'm here. Allow me to close with this. In 2025, people will unsubscribe from my channel. In 2025, some will subscribe, they will find and will resonate, relate to what I'm doing. But allow me to please kindly ask you one thing, whichever camp you fall in of the two. Please allow me to be myself. Unapologetically, authentically, and purely myself. If you do have constructive criticism, carry on interacting with me. If you think it's something I need to hear with some profound sincerity, message me. But for now, I've got a dream to chase outside of running, in running, on YouTube, and I will give it everything I've got. I've never felt more motivated than I do now. The training is stepping up. I've never felt so fired up to just pursue my dreams the way I do now. This is the time. 2025 is that time. I ask you, I invite you to stay. I invite you to be here and see it all. But if what I'm doing doesn't align with what you expect, don't feel too pressured to stay here, because I introduce myself and this part is not changing. My name is Aubrey, a very average runner, simply trying to be less average. That less average bit comes in all sorts of dimensions. I might get faster in the running. I might get bigger as a YouTube channel. I might travel places. And yes, I say less average intentionally. But I always end it with, I'm good with being me. Allow me to be that.